Welcome to our 14th Zero to Pro, Take It Up a Notch webinar. Rivka, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
How you doing?
You hear me, Shmo?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yeah, can hear you great.
Yeah. How you doing?
Baruch Hashem.
Good. Okay, everybody just pipe up where you are. How do we see that? Everyone just as you jump in, just tell us where you are and get everybody excited about the fact that we're all over the whole wide world and speaking to each other. 1 second. Hi Tammy from Cleveland. Thank you. You won the first comment prize. Borough Park, Frady, okay. Hi Ayala. Brooklyn, Beit Shemesh, California. Muncie. Hi Sandy. Esther from London, Stamford Hill. Where else in London? Bleemy, Brooklyn, Jerusalem, Israel. Okay, that's great. Gateshead, good. Basically covered the entire Jewish world already. I don't think there's anywhere else where Jews live. Okay, so Yocheved has got she will be here soon. Carol from Pennsylvania, welcome. But we're just going to have to hold out for a minute for Yocheved, and Rivka's going to be covering questions for the beginning. We'll wait another few minutes just for some more people to come in. Oh, Stanley from New Mexico. That's a new name. Hi, Stanley. Welcome. Okay. Let's start moving. 1 second. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. We'll start with, just as usual, a couple of transformations that we've had. More people pouring in. 1 minute. Okay. Paul from South Buckinghamshire. Hi, Paul. Welcome from South Buckinghamshire. Okay. Screen share. Let's do this. And let's get me out of the way over here. Okay, just before I start, I'm going to just tell everyone, we basically need to bring in more students. Like, I'm still, what's the word? Maybe I'll just carry on with me for a minute. That I'll just make this bigger. There we go. We're still reeling from the effects of COVID very badly over here. So my whole photography business is based on tourism in Israel, and there is no tourism in Israel basically. So the school exploded at the beginning of Corona. Because everyone was bored at home, but after like 2 years of being coronafied, everything's kind of dropped down. So we really need to bring in some new students into the school because there's no photography. So we've got I'm just going to put our offer up. We are doing, as usual, 50% on the masterclass, but I would really appreciate it. I know we've got a lot of like very dedicated people out there who really appreciate what we do for them, and we appreciate what you do for us. But if you have any ideas of how to like push our school further, any people you could think of who would appreciate, what we're offering, please let them know. And also, as a side point, if you have any business ideas, and if you're interested in getting involved with us in any way, you can send me an email at my regular email address is shmueldiamond@gmail.com. I'd love to talk to you. Maybe there's something we can work out because we've got, as you guys know, we do have in my opinion, and it seems from the feedback, we have like a wonder product, like a miraculous product that we're selling. We just haven't got it out there. So if anybody's got any ideas, let me know. Okay, that said, let's jump back in. Okay. And we'll move this out of the way. And just as a couple of transformations, So this is Gitti Strauss. This is where she went. Rivka, you with me? Rivka, you there?
I'm here, Shmuel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. So you feel free to comment as well and join in.
Sure.
And anyway, but this is what Gitti began with, which was it was fine. I mean, it was a regular place where people begin with us. And within literally, it's quite amazing. Oh, you heard it here. You have it, you hear?
Yocheved's there. Hi, Yochaved.
You're live, you can speak.
Yeah.
Hi, Yocheved, how you doing?
I'll be back in a second there. Hang on. Hi there.
No problem.
Just give me one more sec.
Okay. So we can see from the beginning here, like just this is regular getting a grip with composition and stuff, bad focus, not such good location scouting, and then as we move on, the truth is they're not actually ordered correctly. That's quite annoying. But the last ones are a little bit out of focus still. But now you can see getting better with the location scouting, is more intelligent with the background. Light's still a bit dodgy, but good composition. Here we've got good light, some nice interactions, and now getting involved in Lightroom as well. This was, I think, from earlier. Okay, and now really getting tight with composition, and now gorgeous, stunning pictures. This is within 6 weeks. So just, excellent, absolutely fabulous, intelligent posing, very sophisticated, intelligent posing, and great location scouting, good lighting. Really well done, Gitti. You absolutely smashed it. Okay, Chevy. Chevy did amazingly. Let me sort by. This will work. So this was the beginning. This is what Chevy began with. Okay, from the beginning, I could see. Yeah, Chevy, you with us?
Yes, got great eye.
So yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Great eye, but no concept of focus, or like you could see that she's going to do fantastically. Just a terrible picture, nevertheless. But that was well done. She nailed the focus there. Again, you can just see this is the beginning. You can see that she's got a really good eye. She's seeing like dynamic composition. The posing is nice. Also, what's nice, what Chevy did is she used the same little girl the whole way through the course. So you'll see as she moves forward, and now she starts getting involved in Lightroom. Again, this is beginning Lightroom, okay, which is it's very flat, very non-contrasty, so it's a bit annoying, but this is exactly what you're meant to be doing. And now moving forward to some really intelligent posing, getting better with the editing, and getting better with the posing. And the best thing as well about the whole thing is she's using a 50D with a 50mm lens. This is basically a $250 setup.
Wow.
Getting really
That's so encouraging to everyone. You really don't have to spend. That's so encouraging for everyone. You really don't have to spend an absolute fortune to get really great pictures.
Absolutely. And now look at this. This is really solid professional photography after just a couple of weeks, about 4 or 5 weeks. Stats are perfect. Is she shooting in manual here? Now she's in manual. Beautiful location scouting. Beautiful pose as well. Very intelligent. Composition. Gorgeous. Now getting to grips with the more advanced functions of the camera. Again, some really sophisticated lighting as well. Just look at these pictures. Just fantastic. Fabulous. Well done,
so powerful. Wow. Really, really nice.
Okay. I think these pictures that Rivki took were in 3 weeks. So I chose these ones not because of this amazing, but within 3 weeks, I thought this was just fantastic. This is where she began, okay? Again, missing focus, but you could see that, again, she's got the eye. Yeah, she's got the eye. She's really can feel it. Again, things like this is just basic stuff at the beginning that all you need is for me to just turn around and say, don't have a random rope in the background. And that changes your whole, you never do that again, basically.
The way of thinking, yeah.
Exactly. And now this literally was in 3 weeks. Look at this, what she came to within 3 weeks. Absolutely fabulous. Really nice. Again, that's well done, Rivki. And Fagi did this. She went through the whole course here. Once let me just quickly sort by date. Okay, so again, you can see she's doing well with the cropping in. Okay, not much of a location, a little bit dodgy on the focus. Again, location-wise, a little bit shady, but this is still moving forward, doing well with cropping in. Okay, and now getting really, getting tighter with the crop. Again, missed focus slightly, but the lighting's getting better. Now, all of a sudden, she really starts thinking about, foreground, background, framing, depth. Still, light is a little bit, there's still room to go, but at least she's really, you can see her mind has moved completely in the right way. And this is really exciting, is she's using a PowerShot G9, which makes it even better. And now you can see she's really thinking about backgrounds and posing, and I'll probably crop in a little bit here, but still nice thinking. And then, although this isn't such a great shot, but she gets 10 out of 10 for like creativity in the posing. I think that's really well done. And now getting stronger with the posing, finding good light. Okay, and getting better. Now she bought herself a 5D Mark IV, so she jumped up.
Wow.
Some really special pictures here. Really, really well done. Beautiful, finding good light, beautiful posing, good backgrounds. Excellent. And finally, Bleemer as well. So this was, again, just joining us at a regular place, bad locations, contrived posing, no sensitivity to light, although this was a little bit sensitive.
That's lovely, yeah.
And then moving forward, things like everything is beautiful, just the hair over here and all that takes. This is one of the things that people don't realize. All it takes is to have that personal instruction of just being told, look, be careful of the hair on the face. And then it kind of fixes it forever. That's the difference of doing a course where you're getting personalized instruction than just one of these random courses online where you just download the shirim or the classes, or it's a whole different world when you're getting the personal instruction. Okay, and now here we go. Gorgeous. Look at this. Beautiful sensitivity, gorgeous light, beautiful editing as well. Really sophisticated. Really well done. So thank you, Gitti, Chevy, Rifki, Fagi, and Bleemy, all of you guys. And there's a lot of other people as well. And the results we're seeing over and over are just beautiful. Really, really exciting. Okay. 1 second. So, wait 1 moment. Just 1 minute. Back again. Yeah. Okay. So we will start. We'll go through these pictures. Okay. So Hannah Merlstein. So this is a beautiful picture as a promotional picture. I'm wondering what it would look like if your logo wasn't there. Can't really think about that. I think the picture would not be
too much white.
Yeah, exactly.
The writing balances out the white a little.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think. So look, the edit is gorgeous. It's going in very close. It's a little bit. I think this kind of picture is what a lot of people are doing nowadays. It's very heavy on the post-production. I can't see the stats or whatever. I think it's, as a picture, it's nice, but the real beauty in this picture is in the editing, with the these beautiful ambers and gold, and the golden yellowy, just very, I wouldn't say intense. It's not intense, but it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's got a lot of warmth. It's very warm, and the brightness as well. Just it's got the kind of thing you could never create that in camera. So it's beautiful with the backlight as well. But like I said, when you actually zoom in, it's not. I don't know how that would look printed. Whoever's done this has done a massive sharpening on this, which is a little problematic. So I don't know how well it would print. So I'm not quite sure to see. I'm careful to look, when the photographers are doing so much in post, it's so important. I can't stress it enough how important it is to make sure that the foundation of the actual photography is in place. Very, very important, because a lot of people try and make up for a lack of foundation in photography with a huge amount of post-production. I'm not saying that's the case here, but that can be the case, and it's something that we have to just look out for. Okay. Tammy, okay, that's cute. The arm here is a little distracting, I think. Either have a little bit more, a little bit less. The crop is a little bit confused, as in we've got an energy moving this way, but she's looking up this direction. It's a little bit too cropped in, I think. Oh, I think Yocheved left us. Yocheved, you there? Oh, no. Yocheved's gone. Okay, maybe she'll come back. Unless I've gone. Wait, can people still hear me?
Shmuel, you're still online.
Oh, Yocheved left. I'm still online. Okay, good. So anyway, compositionally, we just don't have enough room. So the pictures, it's a cute little girl, so we should really be having a little bit more room, I think. It's a little bit up close. Maybe what we could do is by cropping off her legs, that will, although it sounds kind of paradoxical because we cropped off, I think that actually makes a big difference. Because we cropped off more, what we've ended up doing is relatively giving ourselves more room over here. And that's actually made this picture feel a little bit more relaxed.
Sorry,
Rivka, did you get what I just did there?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? How by cropping it in, you've actually made the picture less cropped.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Be careful with the background. It doesn't make sense to have this crop going into her head. Stats, I'm not sure.
It'd be nice to get the connection between them looking at each other.
Say again?
It would be better to have a connection of them looking at each other.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you.
It would also tie the image together more.
Yeah.
It's sort of she's looking at the girl and the girl's looking off.
Or another option would be for the little girl to be looking at us. That would probably be even better. But I think what's really impacting the composition very negatively is the fact that this part of the background is intersecting with her head over here. And we know that the separation between subject and background is essential. So that's a little bit lacking. We could crop in like this. Okay. But yeah, like you said, either have the little girl looking at mum or the little girl looking into the camera would be better. Okay. That's gorgeous. Well done, Gina. Oh, Gina Diamond. Okay. Keep it the family. That's really, really special. 60 Mark II. What do people think of the stats here? Let's just post that. What do people think of the stats? 1 second.
Do you want to read them out? Because not everyone can see them.
Yeah, I'll read them out. 1 minute. Okay, everybody keep.
Is it just my chat box that's not working? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is working.
It's working, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute. Let's see the polls. Perfect, 75%. 25% good. And then bad is 0. That's good. Okay, let's finish the poll. 70% perfect. So we're at 2.8. So, I mean, perfect would really, I don't see why we wouldn't be at 1.8. It's not like a big deal. Like, it hasn't made a big difference to the picture. But just to
I wouldn't do it because she's moving.
So.
All right.
Why would that make a difference?
I mean, if you're on AI server, then you're all right.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't do that anyway. The difference between 2.8 and 1.8 isn't going to do much in regards to like giving you extra focus if she's moving. But if you're using AI servo, that should be fine. It's like I said, it's not going to make such a difference to the actual picture, but just to be completely perfect. Also, the ISO on this camera on the 6D Mark II can go up to 1600 literally without any problem whatsoever. But the picture's gorgeous. The edit is very sophisticated in that I can't really see what you've done, which is what it's all about generally. I can see that there's an intelligent vignette being done. Pin sharp, beautiful focus, lovely light coming from behind, loads of energy, a lovely crop, pardon me, lovely energy moving in this direction. But this elbow also is taking us this way, so I think it's perfectly balanced. Gorgeous two-tone background, meaning that we've got a kind of, we've got a separation in the background. This is one background, and then this is another, and it beautifully intersects with the line of the child here, with the head, the neckline of the child. That's just a really fabulous picture. Really, really well done. Beautiful. Okay, Henny. This is nice. You've gone really far with the edit. It's very stylized, very unnatural, which might be something that people really appreciate. For me, I think it's a little bit too much. That's just my personal taste. I think technically the fact that she comes so close to the bottom of the frame is a little bit distracting. Remember, whenever we have a piece of the image intersect with the edge of the canvas, that creates a sticking point for the eye. So even though we've got this lovely energy moving this way and we've got this beautiful background, which is just very, it's not really attractive particularly, but with everything said and the energy moving up, we've got a sticking point over here. So bringing in a little bit more room at the bottom here would probably make all the difference. I might be tempted to crop this picture more something like this. I like this splodge of sunburst over there. I think I prefer that personally. I think I'd crop in like that. But I think the edit, although it's very stylized, I think it was intelligent and well done. Stats, good, bad, or perfect. Let's just do this one more time. Everybody, start poll. Good, bad, or perfect. What do people think? I'll read the stats out. It's a 400th of a second, at 1.8 at 100 ISO. Good, 100%. Perfect, 40%. Oh, it's a battle between good and perfect. And we've got good. Good is killing it. Good is 75%. Perfect is only 25%. Okay. Oh, let's end the poll. Why do people think that's only good? How could that be better? How could that be better, Yocheved? Well, why everybody, why don't write to me? Why is that not perfect? How could you improve those stats? 200 ISO at 400 and 800th of a second?
100 ISO.
Yeah, I'm saying what would be better, to go 200 ISO to be at 800th of a second? Maybe.
Is it necessary?
Sorry?
Is it necessary?
No, that's the point. Look, but Minastan, by default, we should always be at 200 ISO. So you would be at 800th of a second, but when you're at 400th of a second at 100 ISO, no problem. I think these stats are perfect. Very well done. I'm seeing if the chat's working.
Yes, suddenly I'm seeing people's chats coming on, but I had nothing until now.
Yeah. Can everyone just
people
write
just not been chatting?
In the chat just for a second, just to?
Everyone's too busy listening to chat. That's a compliment.
Or maybe everyone just left the room.
No, the attendees are still here.
There's still people here. Okay. Yeah, the skin is a little bit overexposed. Who wrote that? Hoover. I think the skin is a drop overexposed. But overall, I think it's a nice shot. Well done, Henry. Onward. Okay.
Wow, lovely.
That's very nice. It needs a little bit more oomph in Lightroom, I think. We could just push that a little bit further. Let's just actually open up Lightroom a second. Well, let's just put this into Lightroom 1 minute. Open with Lightroom. Just a very quick like polish I would do here. 1 second. All I really want to do here that I think would make quite a difference is just basically put up the contrast quite a bit. Open up the shadows a drop. And a little bit of vibrance. And a slight vignette. And I think we went from here to here. See what? Do you see that difference? Just give it that little. Can you see it through the computer? Through the
yeah.
Just that little bit of extra oomph, I think. But otherwise, I mean, the light is beautiful. The stats are great. I love the coloring of the background. It's a lovely interaction between them. Although I would like to see a little bit more face. Like remember, there's nothing more engaging in a picture than someone's face. So seeing the two profiles is it's like it's got its own beauty. The fact that there's that like energy between them like this, but it's always nice to see a face as well. But overall, well done. Nice, strong, triangular shape created with nothing distracting in the background whatsoever, which is great. So well done.
The colours also add to the dynamicness.
Yeah.
Like the black and white with just a bit of red.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like a more powerful.
100%. That's beautiful. That's very special. Have Cougar. Oh, you're still with us. Hi, Hava. I don't know if you're watching us. You're watching right now, but this really is special. I've taken lots of pictures just like this, where we take. The truth is, the way I usually do it is with the mother being kissed by the daughter. But this is also okay. I can't see the stats, but I'm sure if it's Hava, it will be perfect anyway. Beautiful rim light on the background. That's gorgeous. You've warmed up the background as well. You've brought out the eyes beautifully, not too much. Remember, it's very dangerous when you enhance the eyes to not make it look fake. Another very important tip is worth coming for it just for this. What adds? Go on, you have it. See if you can, or everyone can answer this question. What adds that extra little bit of intimacy to this picture? Can anyone see?
I thought it from the beginning, but I'll wait to see what you say.
So there's a little thing that adds a little bit, or actually quite a lot of intimacy. I'll
type mine in the chat box like everyone else.
What's that again?
I'll type my answer in the chat box.
You wrote what? You just wrote is cropped in close. Thank you. You haven't got it. Wait, can everyone see that?
I was going to comment on that at the beginning that I actually really liked it, but I didn't want to interrupt your flow.
A very important thing to chop off.
It's very brave.
The head is brave, and it really does add in these kinds of pictures. It really adds a lot to chop off the top of the head. What that does to the viewer's experience adds quite a lot. And also another interesting thing is if you see a bit of elbow at the bottom, if you chop off a bit of the head and a bit of the elbow by cutting off those parts of the rounded or the way the converging lines, the point of convergence, if you crop them off, it adds a lot to an intimate image. It was worth coming to the webinar just for that point. Anyway, okay, onward. Okay, Shira Yacheli. This is beautiful. Focus is a teeny bit off. Focus is a teeny bit. The focus is here, not here, but the actual picture is beautiful, lovely light, nicely cropped in. Could do with maybe a little bit of a vignette and maybe brightened up a little bit, but well done. Lots of lovely energy. Okay.
I know who did that one.
Yeah.
Ayala took them. No, Ayala took them before they showed up.
Oh, okay, very good. Maybe you can give them to me to put into the portfolio. That's nice. That's well done. Stats. Oh, you're using your 70mm. He looks a little bit awkward. You needed to relax your brother a little bit there. I would probably also have had him hold this instead of him. I can't see where his arm is, but I probably would have had him hold over here a little bit. That might make him feel a little bit more comfortable. But the actual the location is great. Lovely energy moving in this direction. Then we've got all this vibrant texture over here and beautiful lively dynamic greens. and it's a real feast for the eyes. Really well done. Good stuff. Okay, West Fam. A little bit too warm, nicely cropped in, but the light is very kind of flat and boring. It'd be nice if there's a little bit more form to the light, but still nicely done. Good eye contact, and focus a teeny bit off, but not really a problem. So well done. Okay, who's this? Don't know. Well done. The composition is a little bit off. There's no real composition here. This hand being chopped off again, like we said, when an element of the subject intersects with the edge of the canvas, that becomes distracting, which it is. It's just, we've got kind of an energy moving this way. There's nothing doing over here. There's nothing bringing us over here. So I just feel it's a little bit heavy on this side. It might make sense to just chop off a little bit over there. 1 second. Something like that. I think that adds something. The focus is beautiful. The light in his face is really nice, and it's been nicely edited. So well
very
done.
Very fresh as well.
Yeah. Very light and airy. Stats, good, bad, or perfect. Come on, let's ask everyone again. 1 second. Polls, reset poll. Everyone good, bad, or perfect? Tell me what you think. The stats are 200 ISO at 1.8 at 3,200 per second. Now, there's an interesting thing to think of here. Although you would think perfect, yeah? So far, many more people are perfect. Definitely not bad. Wouldn't say bad. And I would really say perfect. I would just say there's an interesting thing about the 6D Mark II. The 6D Mark II, do you know what the maximum shutter
speed? I think it doesn't go higher than that, so you've hit your limit.
It goes to 4,000. It stops at a 4,000th of a second. Unlike a 5D that goes up to 8,000. Remember, you never want to get to like the limit of any of your stats. Because once you get to 4,000, if it got any brighter, you would end up being stuck where to go. So in this case, I would be shooting at 100 ISO and at 1/1600th of a second.
But what's the difference if you're maxed out on that? So then you'll turn to the next setting to adjust. Why preempt it the other way?
Because the way we get our exposure is by just setting our shutter speed.
I mean, you don't want to have to deal with the next set of settings. Just stay in shutter speed.
By default, we are at 200 ISO. We're at the widest aperture. And now how do we attain our correct exposure? Is just we change our shutter speed. The goal, remember, is to make it as simple as possible. Okay, we don't want to.
So there you go. So why not go until you're maxed out and then start dealing with ISO? Well, you're suggesting she already pay attention to the ISO in advance.
You're right, but now she's already close to being maxed out, so she should just look at her
then
ISO
you stop and look
and think, let's just go down to 100 ISO. And if he moves into a brighter area, I don't need, because I'm definitely not going to need to go slower than a 1/1600th. You with me? So you want to hedge your edge. You never want to max yourself out. It's that's a very subtle, that's a very very advanced photography thinking, but I'm trying to give over as much as I can here. Okay, Juliet Austin. This is it's nicely cropped in. A lot of nice energy. Did the flash go off? Can anybody? We haven't got a poll here. I'm just gonna ask everybody. Can everybody please tell me? Did a flash go off in this picture? And how can you tell? Yes or no? You can just write in the chat. How do we know if the flash went off? I'm giving it away. Obviously, the flash went off. How do we know the flash went off? Check her eyes. Yeah, that's also true. And you can see in her eyes that the flash did go off. Yeah, but this little shadow here is
flash shadow.
Is a giveaway.
I mean, you can also check her settings if she's indoors at 13 aperture.
Yeah, you can just look here. You're right. So,
there's no way she's without flash.
Yeah, you're right. 13, yeah, but like we're trying to just get away from using flash. There was probably no need. You could have just used a much wider aperture. but nicely cropped in, cute smile, well done with the focus, so good stuff. Okay, that's nice. But it's a little flat. We definitely could add some vibrance and a little bit of clarity maybe. Stats are perfect, beautiful, lovely depth, lovely. I love the inclusion of these splodges of pink, of purple, and the green in the background gives a lovely, like I said, a lovely feeling of depth. Just needs a little bit more oomph that you could add in Lightroom, but well done, beautiful. That's nice. Daily inspiration. Okay. I think the stats for this are really perfect, to be honest. It's a very powerful graphic, but there's not that much to look at, as in, although the graphic is powerful, the subject is a little bit lacking, in my opinion, personally. But I do like the power of the graphic, so well done. We've got this lovely powerful bold shape. The edit isn't that good over here. That's a little bit obvious. Be careful with that. We've got powerful energy moving this way, and then obviously we've got this concentric light zooming out, which is cool. Well done. Okay, Sylvia, the coloring here is very off. We need to cool that down quite a bit. There's a lot of yellow in this image that is distracting us. Otherwise, we've got a nice energy this way. But just remember, like I said before, if you want an image to engage the viewer, we need to be seeing more of the face. Okay, that's cute. Higher, a little bit dark. We could brighten it up a little bit. Having your subject straight on like that, although it's not like the worst thing in the world, it does make the image kind of static. Generally, we want some kind of movement to the side, something like that, to give some kind of direction, to give the image a little bit more dynamic feel. Also, another issue here is that we've got this gorgeous pink over here, and then we've got this black hole over here. So it might be worth in Photoshop, you could do it in like a moment, literally just do a cut and paste and just stick these over here, or move yourself around, even better this way, and try and fill the whole background with all this color, as opposed to having a dark splodge and then all the other colorful area. Okay, that's a very cute moment. Stats are absolutely and utterly unacceptable, although there's probably not much you could do. It looks like it's like in the middle of the night. Although maybe you put your camera on a tripod or something. That would be an idea. If you want to take pictures of kids sleeping, you could actually use a tripod. Obviously there wasn't a lot of light there at all. It's a very cute moment. I think you have to do quite a bit in post. I would probably turn this black and white to give that any kind of real. But this is a great example of where we've got a really engaging subject, but really, really bland, boring graphics. So really our job as a photographer is getting amazing, powerful graphics and really engaging subjects. That's what we want. We want to have both, okay? Not one or the other. We want both. Okay, that's nice, Miriam. Very warm. It's not like it's like, it looks like it's just very warm lights. What I do think here is an issue is that they're kind of moving away from each other. The energy is like moving away from each other. I would have them lean in a little bit closer. It wouldn't take much to get right now. There's like that energy this way. If you just said to the big girl here, just lean a little bit over to your sister, friend, whatever, and she'll just move a drop, that would get rid of that movement away. Like I say to everybody, when you're taking pictures of single people, the way I do, what I'm thinking of is I'm just thinking about display personality or soul, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. When I'm taking pictures of more than one person, my main thing is not just the personality style. The main thing is to display the relationship. So that's why I don't take pictures of people back to back, very rarely, like very, very rarely, because I'm always trying to show the connection and the intimacy in a relationship. So that's what's annoying me a little bit here, is that the movement is away from each other. I'm exaggerating it with these arrows, but to have them leaning in closer creates it kind of reveals the relationship, which is what we're trying to do. It's a very good mindset to be in. The minute you're taking a picture of one person is, I want to show their personality. The minute a next person comes in is, I want to reveal the relationship. Okay, that's beautiful. Nice, lovely logo as well, Hadassah. That's really lovely. I really like that. Lovely energy.
It's a really great example of a fence actually being a great part of the picture as opposed to being ugly.
I agree.
It really contributes.
Yeah. I think also I'm not sure she did this. I'm pretty sure she did. This doesn't look pin sharp, which is a problem. These stats are not very good, Hadassah. Sorry to tell you off, but I'll shake my finger at that. A 1/125th of a second is unacceptable. You want to be getting to at least what? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask everyone a question. What do we want to be getting to at least? A 1 over what? And what is the number where you can start to breathe and really forget about shutter speed? 1 over 200, very good. That's the minimum. And what is the number where we can really just forget about shutter speed? The answer is, not 1,000. 1,000, you're going to forget about it a while ago. About a 400th of a second is when we can forget about shutter speed. Anything below a 200th of a second, even a 200th of a second, you're not out of the forest. Okay, the chances of getting a sharp picture at 200th of a second, I think, are not even 50-50. When you're out and about, when you're running around taking pictures, not even 50-50. But lower than that, there's like, this is a real issue because it's such a gorgeous picture. But that, in my opinion, is, when I look at that picture, I have a little guy with a trombone in my head go, wah, 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 because it's so beautiful.
Meaning it's not the focus, it's the shutter speed.
It's not, yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise there would be 1 point in focus.
Yeah, sure, you can see there. No, she nailed the focus. The focus is fine. Just, unfortunately, the shutter speed wasn't there. But one thing that Hadassah has done that really is special, I think she's done this, is she's cooled down everything here. And I don't know if she's warmed her up, but she's quite warm in the first place. But by cooling her down, it's very interesting to note that we know that lines have directions. Yeah, so if I go like that, yeah, we know that there's a direction in this line going that way. Okay. But do you know that colors also have directions?
Really?
So the two primary colors being warm and cool are blue and red. Yeah. Which direction is blue and which direction is red?
I would guess.
Everyone, let's open that up to everyone. What direction is blue? What direction is blue? See if anybody remembered watching the art of photography.
Red horizontal, blue vertical. We've got Rena jumping in.
Nope. Although I know why you're saying, I hear why you're saying that. That's not a bad idea.
Leah says, isn't it orange and blue?
No, either way. Cool.
Red and orange are close enough.
Cold.
Who about blue horizontal?
Yeah. So blue goes away from you and red comes towards you. Warmth comes towards you and blue goes away from you. So if you're painting a picture and you want the background to look more distant, you'll paint it cooler and it will feel like it's going further away. And if you want to have something in the foreground that you want it to feel like it's coming closer to you, you'll make it warmer and that'll feel like it's coming closer to you. So that's a really good way of making your background kind of disappear and bringing your foreground towards you, bring your subject towards you. So Hadassah did that here. So well done. Okay, that's nice. Shashi, a little bit too bright in the background. The light on her face is okay, but the background's a little bit bright. But we've still got just enough definition so that she didn't like disappear. So that's well done. Okay, I like the crop, and I like the energy created by the dynamic tension because she's moving us to the edge of the frame. Okay. Sorry, Kevin?
You've again got that gorgeous line of the leaves just dipping around her face.
Where?
The bushes in the background.
What, here?
The line of the bushes in the background just dips around her and then comes back up again.
Like here and here?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
It like frames her a little. I
hear what you're saying. Because I was the veil kind of gets rid of that. I hear what you're saying.
I suppose.
Okay. You need to open the shadows a little bit, Esther. The shadows here become too dark. I like the interaction. There's a lovely interaction between I'm assuming mum and daughter. You've cropped in beautifully. This is a great example. Let's see if this works. She's got a bow on, so I think it will work. Let's have a look. She's cropped the elbow off already. What we were talking about here about cropping a drop of the head off. Let's look at the difference here. I don't think that's going to work. Just to crop that off. Let's have a look. Look at the difference. Isn't that a great example?
Yeah.
Great example, yeah?
Yeah, you really see it.
That's nice. But look at that little extra bit of intimacy. Just by trimming off the teeny little bit, just getting rid of where the lines converge makes all the difference. I love it. I love it. Okay, where are we holding time-wise? What's the time?
We're 10 to 47, yeah.
Have we got, where are we holding with the...
I completely lost track of checking that one up. We're supposed to be up to... there we go. 2:40 is the Adobe Lightroom presentation, so we're 7 minutes off.
We're 7 minutes off. So let's do another couple of pictures and then we'll do the Lightroom because it's important. I think everybody wants to see the Lightroom thing. I mean, updates. I do anyway. Okay, this is okay. I'm not keen on the stats at all. It could be using a much wider aperture and that would make the background a lot less in your face. Also, I think it would be nice. It's a bit random. They're looking at us and he's looking at them. I'd rather have them all looking at us or both of them looking at him or something, make a little bit more sense. Maybe also just crop in a little bit. Just make it perfectly, what's the word? Symmetrical. But otherwise nicely done. You know what I would really be doing here, Zahava, is I'd really be trying to make use of this log. That's something that I'd be really thinking about. Okay, that's nice. That's nicely done. That's good, sophisticated use of the flash. You did not get the focus, unfortunately. I can't even see where the focus is. I think there's I'm not even sure where the focus is. Maybe it's just maybe it's a bad lens. It could be using like the kit lens. I'm not sure. But again, I would definitely crop this one in a little bit. There's a lot of dynamic energy available in these graphics. So why not cash in on that? Okay, but that's nicely done. I like the composition here. This line over here, and then this shape over here, and with the circle over here. That's a really powerful composition. That's well done. Okay, that's nice. Who's this? Leia Zelig. That is nice. It's a little bit, I think you've used the clarity a little too much. I would actually be thinking about softening this picture as opposed to clarifying this picture. You could brighten him up a little bit using a 24mm lens. So there's a bit of like comical. It's like a bit comical. It's a little bit like, coming towards like barrel distortion. I would like to see that picture more zoomed in. It would look a little bit more sophisticated, I think. But otherwise, nicely done. I definitely like the light. Stats are good. The background's good, so well done. That's beautiful. Who did that? Oh, Esty. Nice one, Esty. Esty's one of my star students. That really is very special. This, I think, is a little bit distracting though. These little, although it like makes sense, it's cute. But I think that you actually lost more than you gained. The edit is superb. You've dropped the texture down. You've softened it just enough. The focus is perfect. Stats are absolutely spot on as well. Beautiful balance, beautiful.
Gorgeous.
This line of the tree trunk going off into the distance, and then with the, I don't know if you, I don't think you did add that in post. I think that's actually natural. That warm flare from the camera. I know this lens very well, and I think that's quite natural from the camera. Light on the kid's face is gorgeous, beautifully cropped in. Big thumbs up, Esty. Well done, gorgeous. Who's that? Yeah, oh, that's nice. Very powerful. Careful knickers. Okay, we never want to see knickers. That's something that causes you a lot of time wasted in Photoshop with parents saying, "Please get rid of the knickers." Otherwise, I would probably have come around a teeny little bit that way just to make sure that she's perfectly centered. Also, it looks like your flash went off. Is that flash gone off? No. But otherwise, it's what I would be looking at here is like, look at all this like ugly brown, yeah, and then look at this gorgeous pink. I would not be here. When I see this gorgeous pink and green, I would be stuffing her somewhere over here and trying to fill my frame with all of this gorgeous energy, as opposed to this kind of like blech.
Right, you see a path and you think, "Oh, a leading lines path," but yeah, but don't be a slave to that.
I don't get fooled by leading lines when I know that leading lines are great, but if you can pull out, you know, vibrant pinks and greens and yellows and oranges and stuff,
yeah,
go there every time. Just like we've said over and over, the more bland the graphics, the uglier the graphics, the uglier the picture. As simple as that. Take a picture of a kid sitting on tarmac, ugly picture. Take that same kid, sit him on the grass, much more beautiful picture. So simple, so simple. Okay, let's hold here and let's look at Lightroom a minute. I hope I get time to get back to here. Let's okay, where are we holding? Voice went dead. We are frozen.
No, it's people's individual internet connections.
Oh yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, so look, can everybody just give me a heads up? How many people have noticed that Lightroom did a big update? Let me know. And also, please, I'm going to just put the offer again. We'll remove the offer and start the offer again. Please, everybody, if everybody was to go out and get one person to enroll right now, I would be so happy. I can't tell you.
Yes, they all noticed the updates.
What?
It's pouring in.
Oh, everyone's noticed? Best thing ever. It's annoying. What do people like it? Do people love it or hate it? Oh, wait, I can do a poll. 1 second. Without me creating a new poll, I've got like a different poll here. Okay, it says about if the picture's rubbish or amazing, but forget the picture. Is the new update of Lightroom 1 rubbish or 10 amazing?
We've got a 10 and a 5 have leapt straight in.
Yeah. Oh wait, you see it or you see it only because you're admin?
I can see it because I'm admin. I can't vote.
People say, so right now we've got 5, so people think it's the middle. No one's written rubbish. Few people think it's great.
There you go. Just to spite you, we've got a rubbish.
Oh, we've got a rubbish? You know, can I do this as well? I can't do it.
Is there any way to get rid of that update, said Hadassah, who called it annoying?
So we're going to talk about that. So look at that. That's really interesting. Okay, I'm going to stop it. Quickly vote now because I'm going to stop it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, can everyone see the poll? Does everyone see that? How do I know if they see that? Anyway, so look, we've got 12% said rubbish, 25% gave it a 5, 25% gave it a 10, and there's a bunch of people over the 7, 8, 9 area. So generally it's positive. Yocheved, have you seen it?
I haven't been able to, it hasn't updated for me.
Oh, you don't have internet, do you, properly?
Not often, no.
Okay. So what are my thoughts of it? So I think it's great and it's rubbish at the same time. I think it's really clever, but it's really dangerous. Okay. What is the danger, ladies and gentlemen? What is the danger of Lightroom?
Taking it too far.
Of Lightroom. What?
Taking it too far?
No, your own personal danger to your life, like a knife can cut you, or a car you can crash in. What's the danger of Lightroom?
I can't say messing up your picture because you're never messing up your picture. It's all metadata.
No, that's not what the danger of Lightroom is.
Spending too long there.
Thank you. That's the danger of Lightroom.
I'm not sure we all suffer from that illness. Some of us want to get in and get out as fast as we can.
So the danger of Lightroom is it's sucking away your life, and that is the danger, in my opinion, of these new masking tools that they've brought out that are very clever, really clever, but I don't understand why they put them into Lightroom because they're more like Photoshop. Tools. So I'm gonna just look at. I pulled out a few pictures to just demonstrate a few of these. 1 second. Wait a minute. Where are they? Bernstein. Oh, we can do the bell. I also wanted to show you a little bit of how I edit, actually. Okay, so let's go into develop. Okay, so now basically the most important, this is really what's changed. Okay, I haven't got the old Lightroom to show you, but the red eye we never use anyway. This is the same as it was. This is the patch tool, exactly the same as it was. Crop tool is also the same. It's just in a different place. But this is what's really changed. And it's clever what they've done. They've basically gotten rid of what we call the adjustment brush, and they've grouped although it's still there and it's how it was, but what they've done kind of conceptually is they've created what's called masking. They never used the word masking in Lightroom before. And now we've kind of all of a sudden have this whole new world of masking, depending on where you're from in the world. Okay, so it works the same. Basically, whenever I talked about the brush tool and the gradient tool and the radial tool, I would say like you've got global adjustments. This is global adjustments. Okay, when I change the entire frame. Okay, that's global. And then you've got local adjustments, which would be like a brush where you can paint a little bit here, and then you can just affect a local area. Yeah, that's local adjustments. And then I would describe the gradient tool and the radial tool as like a kind of hybrid. But now Lightroom have kind of just said no. It's really all to do with masking, and that makes sense because it really is. So now how do we put the brush in? So the brush is as it was, okay, but what they've done, which is quite nice, is you've got this little pop-up thing over here that will allow me, now I'm not going to do like real editing. Let me just say I'm going to paint over here, yeah? So now I'm going to add some clarity, let's say, to Dad's head, okay? Now I want to create a new brush. I'm going to click here, the plus. Now it gives me the option of any of the masking tools. So it's really put all the masking tools together. So I'm going to go brush again. Now I'm going to be able to create a new brush here, paint over a little boy. Okay, now you can see it's like a layers panel in Photoshop. It's much more complicated.
Instead of just having the pin on your picture.
So there is the pin. There is the pin also, but there's now the ability to toggle between the two brushes and actually seeing them up here. If you want to get rid of this, can you actually get rid of it? No, 1 minute. You can make it bigger, whatever it is, and you can have them. You can have it show the overlay. You can get much more. You can get 1 second.
You can't right click and do sort of like hide window or something.
No, there is no hide window. But do you see how much more complicated it's gotten? It's annoying for me, for my students, because it's not necessary to make it so much more complicated. But anyway, they've created this like layer panel. So now, if I want to add now a gradient, now I can create my gradient tool like here, just as it was before. And we've got like the same idea now. I've got all of the, so I can drop the exposure, and I can add some saturation. Okay, so and now if I want to erase from my gradient tool, in the old way there was just the erase here, which has gone. Now the way I do it is I click here. And now I have to choose again. It's quite clever when you're very familiar with Lightroom. It's really clever for someone who's just beginning their Lightroom career. It's very confusing, and it's made the learning curve for Lightroom that much steeper. It really has.
Does it take away the need to go into Photoshop? Like it's brought Photoshop tools in, or not even?
That's the issue. I'm going to get to that now. So let me just finish off here. So now there's the let's get rid of all of this. 1 minute. We can just delete. We can delete all masks. Okay, we can start again. So now this is really clever. Okay, we've got a select sky tool. Okay, who said it's still pretty simple? Ahuva. It's still pretty simple. That's probably because you know it already. Like I said, when you're familiar with Lightroom, then it's fine. But when you're not familiar with Lightroom, it's made the learning curve much steeper. It really has, in my opinion. Now, what I just did, I clicked out of it, but I clicked the select sky. Now, look at that.
Wow.
That is? Isn't that so clever?
That's pretty cool.
That really is good. And now I can actually really just bang the sky out. And if we zoom
very
in,
neatly.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Oh, that's very impressive. Does it get mixed up like if someone has a blue t-shirt or no?
From what I've seen so far, these two options, I'm just going to do that. Well, let's now go. Let's do another one. Let me see. We've got these two options of select subject and select sky. So you saw the sky one, that mamash nailed it. That was amazing. Now the subject one, I've done it a lot of times now, and every time, literally, it's been perfect.
Really?
Let's see how well it does here. Yeah, let's see how well it does.
It's that intelligent.
Let's see how well this does it now. I think it will do it really well. We'll see. 3, 2, 1. Absolutely.
Almost. It's got a bit of the wall there.
Yeah, no, it has got a bit of the wall. But otherwise, that's pretty good. But this was quite easy. Let's change the image.
Someone said if the sky is white, will it still select?
Yeah, 100%. But it will. You've got a little more. It's not as easy when the sky is white to bring out a decent sky. Let's look at this.
No, but it will also mix up selecting other things if it's white and then it blends into white.
Not really. Let's do a sky selection here. Let's try again. Oh, don't want to do that. Sorry. 1 minute. Go back here, and we'll do select sky, and let's see how well it does it. Now, I have seen when there's trees and stuff like this, it gets messy. So let's see how well it does over here. I think it will still do a pretty good job. Pretty good. But now let's see what happens if I... That's actually fantastic.
It's not bad because there's tiny bits within the trees that anyway sort of blurred within the trees.
Yeah, that's fine. That's done really, really well. That really has done really well. Okay. But my question is, how much do we need this? That's my question. So in the old days, okay, before this was there, I just punched it around with that. Now, if I delete that, what I probably would have done for the sky, 1 second, would be on a global adjustment, I would just drop down the highlights a little bit. Okay, and I probably would have left it there. So this is my thing with the new tools. They've created this extra kind of danger of putting too much energy into your editing in Lightroom. Okay, that's not necessarily an intelligent way of spending your time. Now let's just see how well it does with selecting the subject. Now this would be quite good of her hair. I bet you it will do a good job as well. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. No. Very good. Look at that. That is really perfect. Now, what could I do now? What's this going to help me with? Because the thing is, I've got so many exposures. I've got the dark of her dress. I've got the white of his shirt. I've got.
You don't want to just uniformly drag up the exposure all over.
So it hasn't really done us any good. The only thing that I can really think about here now is if I right-click here and go invert. Now I could potentially do something to the background. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't want to do that, but this is my point. Is you look at it and you're like, oh wow, that's really great that I can now select my subject, yeah. But really, in Lightroom, what we're really generally trying to do, let me just delete this, is with a picture like this, what I would be doing is I would use my brush, and I mean, there isn't that much to do here. There really isn't much to do here. But let's just say I wanted to do something. I would just brighten up their hair a little bit. So I would just open up the exposure on the hair a drop. And again, it doesn't matter how tight you're being. Create another brush here. And then we could bring back a little bit of detail on the shape. Again, the actual exposure is pretty good off the bat. We could do that and then bring up the clarity. But you see how, although it looks really good, in reality, it hasn't actually saved you that much. That was really the point of what I wanted to give over. Really a warning with the new Lightroom is be careful not to get too starstruck by this new technology. And I think just a rule in general is that technology is here to serve us. And when we start serving technology, and that's the same in all facets of technology, but that's the danger that I feel is here with the Lightroom, is that this new technology is like, oh, this is so exciting, amazing, and then all of a sudden you can look back like, a year later and you're like, wow, I've wasted so much of my life like making these skies a bit bluer. Imagine how many people are going to sit on their, lying on their deathbed thinking, oh, if only I hadn't edited so many skies. Anyway, so that's really my take on the new Lightroom. It's very intelligent. It's very sophisticated, but don't get sucked into it, and use it intelligently in the way. Like I said, it is more put together, the way you can get to the different brush tools. So I can just paint over here now my little bit and then brighten up this area just as it was before. But now I can quickly toggle between the different areas that I've adjusted. And that's basically my take on it. Whoever says don't get carried away. Yeah,
someone said, is it worth updating?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Does it have other minor glitches and bugs and fixes going on as well at the same time? Or?
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, nowadays it's all pretty solid. But this is the real update here. Is the masking tool. You'll get used to it, but my point is, don't get sucked into it. You will use it every now and again, but don't get sucked into it. That's my 2 cents on that.
If you do a select subject or select sky, can you use the brush to add or take away from the selection it chooses?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can then add a radial tool. It's really very. I'll just quickly show you again. Let me just choose a different picture. Let's choose.
Yeah, there you go, Rivka. There's your answer.
What's that?
So I was just asking someone's question. So she's.
So look, for example, but I'll show you. It's even more intelligent in that I can now. Let's say I want to do a radial, a gradient. Yeah. So I do my gradient. I'm going to brighten it up even more. Okay, and I'm going to put some more saturation as well. Now, watch what I can do here is I can actually. Oh no, you can't do it on that one. On everything else you can. 1 minute. If I do a brush, and now I paint over here. Yeah, the radial, the great. Oh no, it does do. Once I don't know why that was a little glitch there. One second, let me delete that one. Now the radial tool, the gradient tool now is I can take away from the. This is quite advanced, but if you know Lightroom, you'll understand it. I can now. This is you can add to the mask or you can subtract from the mask. So I'm going to subtract from the mask, and now it's going to allow me to subtract from the mask with, like for example, a radial gradient. So now I can actually take away from the mask using the radial gradient. You with me?
Yeah.
So I'm actually doing my mark. This is now doing with the do you see it's gotten quite complicated now? Does everyone understand?
But you could anyway do that with a brush.
No. Well, yeah.
Not on gradients?
You couldn't have used the gradient to erase.
Okay, another gradient.
Once you're in, you could do a gradient and you could use the brush to erase, but you couldn't use the gradient and then use the radial to erase, or use the brush and then use the gradient to erase.
Subtle effects.
But it's gotten much more complicated, much more complicated. But don't get sucked into it. We're still gonna be editing in the way we did. I'm just going to show you now quickly. I think this would be helpful for everybody. I'm just going to reset the edit that I did here. And I'm going to show you what I would be doing for my editing of these pictures. Because I want to show you, like, I get so many people telling me about how much time they're wasting in Lightroom. And then some people are saying, like, how do I do it for my clients when, you know, I'm spending hours on each picture? I'm like, wow, that's not how it should be. Okay, it's really not how it should be. So let me just go and show you what I would do. The way what I do first is I've selected a bunch of pictures. These are all not raw. These are all JPEGs, but unedited straight out of the camera. I've gone into library. I've highlighted them all. Now I go to I put in my portrait enhance, which is really amazing. Okay, everybody's gonna ask me.
Yeah, you said you're giving out some presets this time.
Now, different in this portrait enhance one. Oh, hello.
Yeah, you froze a bit as it was doing that.
Oh, sorry. This is my portrait enhance. I just want to show you a few different pictures of how different. So everyone should have a foundational. Again, look at the difference. Everyone should have a foundational preset that they put all the pictures in, and that's going to be the foundation for everything you're doing. Yeah. Anyone in the gym right now will be looking at these over here and quickly jotting down what the stats are, because that is my portrait enhance, and then it also adds a teeny little bit of a vignette as well. Okay, but that's the cheat there. Okay, so I'm just going to show you very quickly. I've got 21 images. I'm just going to unselect them so I don't copy from effect to effect. And Yocheved, you want to start the stopwatch?
Yeah, but your stuff's a bit blurry. Your stats, if you want people to copy them down, it's a bit hard to see what they were.
Oh, they'll be able to see that on the replay anyway. But anyway, I just want to show you what I think you should be doing in post. Okay, so when I see, okay, that's basically done. I'm going to drop the highlights down a little bit just to bring his shirt back. Done. Next, okay, again a little crop. Things are a bit slow right now, but okay, a little crop and just drop the highlights down again. Done. Okay, and a crop. Now this one, it could be worth bringing that into, making that as a black and white, but as it is, it's very nice. If I was to make it a black and white, I would be just using, I've got my black and white here, I would probably click that black and white one. Anyway, keep going.
Lovely, that one.
Okay, crop in. See, this wouldn't work by cropping off his head unless I crop up a lot closer here. But I don't want to do that. I want to keep that like this. Okay. And then I'm just going to brighten up the shadows a little bit. A drop of exposure. And there we go. Could even warm it up a drop. Okay, finished. Again, we do not need to be more space. I've got my, I'm going to use my cool sepia tint here. I'm going to open up the shadows a little bit more.
Why have you kept two? So that you could turn one black and white?
Yeah, exactly. I kept more than that, but basically, so I don't have to make virtual copies. Okay, that's another nice thing about shooting a lot. Okay, and then this I can crop as a different crop here, like this is a nice panoramic shot. Okay, not much more needs to be done there.
You wouldn't care about that lamppost in the background?
Okay. Absolutely not. Not for this kind of edit. Here I would crop in just like this. Okay, that's basically good as is. Look at the difference between with the edit and without the edit, you see? That's the preset.
Yeah, draws it in a bit. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, it draws your eye in more.
Yeah, and it just polishes off the harshness with the texture again. Done. Okay, that's more needed there. Okay, this is nice. I think let's pop in a little bit here. Up a little drop like this. Okay, maybe we'll put up a drop of clarity as well.
It's not a bit off center.
Maybe even more.
The white balances out there.
No, I'm happy. I'm completely happy with that. It's not pin sharp, but it's okay. Okay, and I would crop in. Brighten the upper T a little bit. Don't forget as well, I'd be using my here as well. That makes things even quicker. Maybe I will use that. 1 minute. I'll just keep going. Okay, and that basically that's. I didn't need to further, but that's a picture like this.
40 seconds.
Yeah, a picture like this, I might be tempted to put in like a radial gradient over here. Like that, and then warm it up a drop as well. And we're done. Basically, the way I've worked it out is if you're shooting for an hour, it should probably take about 30 minutes to delete the pictures and then about 25 minutes to edit the pictures. You should be trying to get to a place. You should be trying to get to a place where you're shooting intelligently enough where the editing time is about the same amount of time as the shooting. The shooting is the same as the editing. Okay, we'll get back into the student pictures. Okay, we'll go a little quicker now. If anybody wants to see that,
are we doing questions and answers?
I will do. Yeah, I'll look at that as well. 1 second. Shareable link. I'm just going to put this up. If anybody wants to. Oh wait, I'm going to put this to everybody. If anybody wants to watch the slideshow from that, what's it called? From that shoot that I just did, you can check it out at the URL that I just posted up here. Okay, let's keep going. This is nice. Flash went off here again. We can see. Okay, but nicely placed, nicely cropped in. Lovely energy moving in this direction. Well done, Sandy. This is really nice. Lots of lovely depth with the.
It hasn't made it ugly, the flashlight.
No, it hasn't. It's not ugly here. It really has been very.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really... flash not used. Maybe it was off camera.
Maybe it's just the sun. Or a shadow.
Could be. But anyway, the actual energy is very nice. This one, like I said, we've got lots of depth.
Yeah, it's very nice.
With all this lovely texture in the foreground and background. So well done. Okay, that's nice, Yitzi. Soften her skin, warm it up, and I would probably crop in a little bit, even though you do have that going into the background. I don't think it's worth compromising the the crop there, but she needs to have her skin softened a little bit and brightened up and warmed up. Otherwise, well done. That's nice. A little bit fake with the edit. I think you did a little bit too much with the you've compromised some of the lines of the face. It just there's a little. It's not what's the word? It's not formed enough. There's no real forming of the light here, which makes it a little bit. Feels a little bit. What's the word? A little bit artificial. But that said, the pose is beautiful. The light that was being very stark what I just said, but the pose is beautiful. I love the repetition.
He said she didn't edit.
Really?
This is Sarah. Says no editing.
No editing.
You can get some people with very beautifully perfect skin.
Maybe it's also to do with the camera and the light. That's amazing.
Oh, so just did the autocorrect. What does autocorrect do?
Oh, that might. I don't know what autocorrect is, but that's definitely. I'm not sure. But anyway, the actual picture is beautiful. The placement of the subjects, gorgeous eye contact, very engaging. The stats are also perfect. Beautiful colors in the background. Beautiful. They're framed and using the tree beautifully as well. So well done. That's really nicely done. Okay, that's a cute pic. That's like a snap. But I definitely like the pumpkins in the background. Nice and energized. It'd definitely be nice if the whole background was all pumpkins, but nice and energized. Up high and zoomed out, which is well done. That's cute. Nice energy there. Again, a little bit like flat. I think a little bit more contrast would be nice. That leaf over there is a little bit distracting, but otherwise you cropped in really nicely. So well done. That's beautiful. Stats are good. Okay. This is the R5. Wowee. Okay. R5. So I'm not keen on the edit. I don't know what you've done. It's a little bit like fake. Your F4. I'm not quite sure what went on there, but I would probably try and make a little bit more separation between the kids. Have her like a little space between. Have this little girl over here, this little girl over here, and have a little bit of space between them. I think that might be a little bit better, and probably cropping as well. Okay, well done. So this is Adina. This would be really nice, but unfortunately you missed the focus.
Oh, yeah.
Oi, yeah, and also you didn't hold the camera still. That was a double whammy. So that's really unacceptable. How the actual picture's gorgeous, the coloring's gorgeous, the composition's gorgeous, the expression's gorgeous, the light's gorgeous, everything's perfect. It's just for the bin because
a lot of people want to know, could you at least still give a picture like that? Because this size on the computer screen, it still looks cute.
I would not give that picture to anyone.
No.
I would not. That picture is the kind of picture that a parent, there could be a chance that
they're looking at it on their phones or at worst on their screen.
Yeah, but what if they're looking on their phone, that's one thing. But a lot of people, when they pay a bunch of money for photography, they look at the pictures not on their phone. And if a person sees a picture that's gorgeous and it's not sharp, then they have that trombone go off in their head, wah, 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 and they just feel like, why didn't you get that picture for me? It was so gorgeous. Why can't I have that picture?
Right, but they shouldn't have seen it.
Exactly. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble. That's nice. That's very cute. Higher, that's well done. I love the colouring here. Problem is this huge sea of black is just too much. It's just too much. We need to brighten that up in post a lot. And I would also crop a little bit as well. I would crop this like that. Crop like that. Okay. That's cute. Again with the R6. Oh, you're heavy. Do you want to turn your mic off for a minute?
Yeah, sorry.
Got noise going on. The baby could be a little bit more centered, but these lines, although you've got these powerful leading lines, they're just too ugly in my opinion. Like green, just too ugly. Not a good idea, I don't think, in my opinion. Okay, what's this?
It looks like a picture of the window, through the window and the reflection. They did that at my wedding as well. Took a picture of the window so you see the background in the garden, and then also through the window.
Yeah. Oh, I understand. It'd be nice if we could see her like turn around, like
smiling or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but a nice brain trip. So well done. Okay, that's beautiful. That's really well done, Dina. Okay, we've got lovely rim light here. This area is not particularly beautiful, but it's not a big problem. The fact that there's some nice colours like that, like kind of subtly falling on this area, which actually adds a lot, and a lovely energy, a lovely strong composition. Okay, moving
the R5 and the R6 are the mirrorless.
Sorry?
The R5 and the R6 are the mirrorless.
They are mirrorless, yeah.
Yeah.
The R5 is the expensive one. The R5 is the very expensive one. The R6 is the expensive one. Okay, that's beautiful. That's really special. I would probably crop in here a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I don't think we're going to get to see all these pictures because I would like to get to some of the questions as well.
How many have we got left?
We've still got 25 pictures left.
Oh, wow.
So that's really beautiful energy. Stats are perfect. Lovely background. Strong triangle here. Lovely energy moving in that direction. The light on the face is gorgeous. Really special. That's really, really well done, Mindy. Really well done. Okay. Yecheva, this is nice. The edit's a little bit too aggressive for such a cute little picture. I wouldn't go black and white personally. I would probably open up the shadows over here, and soften these a little bit, make it a little less contrasty in short. Okay, but otherwise well done. That's cute. I would definitely crop in a little bit. There's no room. You don't gain anything from having this massive area of white. That's nice. Make sure to clean mirrors when you have reflections. Make sure to clean mirrors. Okay, that's nicely done. Be careful, focus.
Oh, yeah.
Just miss focus. Focus is a little bit forward. Okay, with a picture like that, it's really important to get pin sharp focus. You've really placed her beautifully amongst the bokeh over here and the bokeh over here. She's framed beautifully. Got this really nice strong triangle as well. Energy moving in this direction. Really well done. Really overall, really well done. Just unfortunately not so sharp. That's nice. That's nice. Wow, everyone's got a 6D Mark II. Canon should be very grateful for all the camera. So, anyway,
you should partner up, invest in some stock.
I really should. You can. I could do that, but it's anyway. This is nicely done. It's her look is a little bit. There's not really much of an expression there, like. Although it does engage you because you've got eye contact, the expression is a little bit it's not really enough. I probably want to warm this picture up a little bit, but nicely posed, beautifully cropped in, lovely balance, good composition, so well done. Okay, that's cute. Definitely need to brighten this up a little bit. Oh, this is Elisheva. Brighten it up a little bit. I would probably get a little bit lower down, to be honest, and bring in more of this and less of this. That would be my thoughts. A little bit of a tween and twix kind of pose, but definitely needs to be brightened up. Otherwise, well done. That's beautiful. Hindi, very good. Okay, slightly. You've just missed the focus. Focus is slightly forward. Just turn off my air conditioner. Thank you. But lovely balance. I think the bridge has been used beautifully. Beautiful light on there. We've got this lovely energy moving in this direction, and then the bridge is sweeping lines going back off into the distance. Adds a lot of dynamic feel. So well done. Okay, that's cute, Toby. But the feet getting chopped off is not
higher.
Great. So what I would do is actually crop in more, and then that will remedy that, because now we're looking at the line of her tracksuit of her sweatshirt. You see how that remedied that? Because now this line becomes a big player, as opposed to here her feet are being chopped off. Now we haven't even cut her legs off because our eye stops over here. Okay, well done. Nice edit, by the way. This is cute. The flash went off. This picture needs to be pulled off really professionally. You'd need quite a lot of. This would be very skillful to do this professionally. You'd need have big flash from one side, and in short, I think you've done really well, especially the fact that you've got the little boy poking over here. It would be better if he was perfectly in the middle there. That's something that a very high level professional photographer would be paying attention to, making sure that everybody, that's a very sophisticated level of thinking. Also, it'd be nice if she was looking at us, and this foot is a little bit distracting, but otherwise nicely done, especially with the energy of this wall, I think is great. So well done. Oh, okay, onward. That's nice. Unfortunately, the titses here, I think, are taking
distracting.
Yeah, exactly.
Have them like across his lap or something if you don't want to wear them.
They can be folded over here or something. But we never want anything intersecting with the head of our subject. So a nice edit as well, and the stats are good-ish. The stats are pretty good. Could be 800 ISO maybe, but you've done well holding the camera still. Yeah, really well. So that's well done. Okay, that's nice. It needs a little bit more contrast, a bit brighter. I do not like having the tree as the
main feature.
Yeah,
it's too prominent.
He's become too small, and we're not gaining much from having these massive trees in the foreground.
If you'd really crop in and just use it as a little frame on the edge, would that save it? Or
yeah, but I like the hands here. The hands are cute. I wouldn't be thinking about using this. I'd be trying to either propping his arm against that, but I definitely wouldn't be using this little hole in the middle. I can show you quickly. 1 second. There's a picture that I took, but I very rarely. You still there? Oh.
Yep.
1 second. I very rarely put someone in between a tree, but I did for this wedding. 1 minute. Oh, it didn't even make it into the diamond select. It didn't even make it into the
slideshow.
Into the slideshow, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, generally I avoid that. Okay, this is nice. Definitely needs to be warmed up a little bit, and a radial sunburst would go really nicely over here. But otherwise, lovely depth to the picture. Lovely kind of delicate little subject. I think I'd probably crop in like this, and then I'd put in a big radial sunburst over here. But otherwise, nicely done. That's cute. Nice balance. Nice composition. Beautifully cropped in. Lovely light. I'm going to go a little quicker now, but that's really well done. Okay, that's also nicely done. Nice light. Good balance.
Very gentle there. Yeah, it's lovely.
Lighting, which is really well done. Stats are good. Okay, nicely cropped in. Okay, that's beautiful. Rifki, I think we could crop in a little bit more like this. Okay, but that's really nicely done. Lovely pose. This girl's head's turned in, which is great. She's turned in, which is great. And then her face in the middle, which is lovely.
Beautifully done, yeah. Really nicely done.
Really nicely done.
The hands on the edge, just draw it in just perfectly.
Absolutely, yeah. Well noticed. Well done. Yeah. Good, that's cute. Esty, I think a little bit more contrast. But I think either more contrast or less contrast. And I'd probably put up the vibrance a little bit. Or put
more you can see in the other countries in the world, they're having autumn.
Yeah.
We're still on midsummer.
I think they call it fall in these other countries, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
But anyway, I think it's nice. I would like to maybe try and do something a little bit more with the kid, like the tree stump, like just a little bit of a kind of uninteresting pose, maybe put him behind and lean him on or something like that. Yeah, but otherwise nicely done. Okay, sorry. Wow, these stats are really whacked out, but it looks like you held the camera for a sixth of a second. You held it pretty well. You can't really take pictures like this. This is not. These lights are not good for the. They're not good for pictures. The colouring is horrible. The pose is gorgeous and it's a nice composition, but colouring is terrible. And the stats are. I mean, it's amazing that you held the camera so steady. Well done there. Okay. Hanny, this is okay. Just missed the focus. Oh no, you didn't. You got the focus. Great, you got the focus. I think that's really nicely done. I think we could brighten it up a little bit more contrast and a bit of a vignette, but otherwise well done. Okay, who's that? Sorel Eagle. Okay, that's cool. I would probably crop in like this. This is like more like a snap, I think. Although it's with an M5. I suppose it's because it's got like his backpack on. It's not. Don't really see a professional picture of the backpack. So that's what makes it feel like kind of a quick shot. But these lines going in there are very powerful. It's a decent pose, lovely background. Well done. Okay, Mrs. H. Gross. This big expanse of sky is a problem. I would crop in a little bit like this. That would probably make a better shot. That's lovely. Well done on the focus. Stats are good. Good stuff. Okay. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So many people with 16 Mark IIs. Okay, brighten up open up the shadows a little bit. That would make a difference, but otherwise well done. Nice pose. Probably crop in a little bit. Nice stuff. That's nice. That's nice. That's interesting. I would probably crop in closer though. And again, this would be a nice example of chopping off the top of the head that I think would make all the difference. I would crop in like that. That's well done. Nicely edited on the eyes, and nicely seen with the reflection over there. And also these leading lines add a lot of power. Well done. Okay, Esty, lovely, a lovely
logo.
Yeah, beautiful. I would crop in, I think, a little bit like this. But lovely energy, lovely colouring. Definitely brighten up her face a little bit, but nicely done. This prop is great. The teddy bear is great. Lovely smile. That's a really, really good shot. Well done. Good stuff.
Everyone's very glad you gave such an affordable option, the 60. A recommendation.
Oh, yeah, it's great. That is really scary.
Wow.
Helena Ostrich. Don't like that very much, but it's very powerful.
It is very powerful, yeah.
Why is it so powerful? Because we've got this strong triangle over here, Forget the actual
all that emotion. She's got her head down.
That's obviously, but compositionally and graphically, you've got huge contrast. You've got this intense energy from her face moving down here with these two very powerful triangles that are moving our eye constantly. Massive energy moving in, massive energy moving in, more energy moving in over here. Everything's pointing over there. And then add on top of that all the reds, excuse me, and these intense contrasts. And then add the fact that you've got a woman like putting, a needle into another woman's arm and her like, wow, that really hurts. So overall,
very super dramatic.
Yeah, I don't think.
Plus, she's got gorgeous lighting and perfect focus.
The lighting is really nicely done. Yeah. Okay, nearly done. One more after this. The edit could be a little bit. You can open up the shadows a little bit more, but overall, well done. I don't like the composition so much. She's looking bang into the edge here. It would definitely be better if there was some more room, in my opinion. It's not such a powerful picture that makes sense. The other way of doing that is by cropping it in a little bit closer here. I don't think it's going to be enough. A little bit better, but anyway, but well done. And finally, Chaya. This is quite nice. I think the box is a little bit distracting. It's a little bit too clean and sharp. And I would probably be putting one of them in it and one of them outside of it standing. A big takeaway is basically don't use props the way you think that you should use them, or the way that would be generally used. Like, for example, when I see a chair, the last thing I'm thinking about is sitting someone on it. Literally. I do sit them on it sometimes, but that's the last thing I'm thinking about. Otherwise, I'm trying to think about how I can have them stand next to it or lean on it or put their hand on it or drape their shoulder on it, drape their elbow, etc., etc. Whew. Okay, well done, everyone.
Marathon.
We've only got 60 people with us now. But anyway, okay, let's do a few questions. Can everyone see my screen still?
Yeah, maybe zoom in a little bit on the text part if you can. I'll just make it drop clearer.
Second. I need to get on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Hoover asked about chromatic aberration. Sorry, Hoover, you mentioned it earlier. How to avoid it ideally, and she said she's having trouble getting rid of it in post.
No, so you can't. The way to avoid chromatic aberration is buying a more expensive lens. The 50mm 1.8 that I recommend to everyone, that's like $100 is a fantastic lens, but it has a few drawbacks. One of the drawbacks is chromatic aberration. Chromatic aberration happens, yeah. I don't understand why it happens, although I have a friend who explained it to me and I didn't understand. But it happens when you have a strong contrast between a black and white area and you're using a wide aperture with a cheapy lens. That's how it happens, okay? If you want to actually understand why it happens, then you can phone my friend Rafi and he will explain that to you and he will enjoy explaining to you, and I bet you won't understand. Okay, let's go. I'm going to answer these questions as quickly as I can, okay? What camera would you recommend for a beginner or someone doing photography as a hobby? I would look at our camera buying guide. Go to zero-to-pro.online, scroll to the bottom of that massive long page, and you can watch the camera buying guide for free. What is the advantage of using a prime lens? Better image quality and generally a shallow depth of field. Is a honeycomb grid the solution for making sure your black backdrop stays black? A honeycomb is a good option. Even better than a honeycomb is a barn door. Okay. Do you edit every picture you give to your customers? No. But
you do look at it.
I look at it, but I suppose I do in that I do the
basic vignette, the group.
That edit that I showed you, that portrait edit that I put across everything. What do you call it? A batch edit of a preset. But then on some pictures, I'll actually let go of it. It's rare that I don't do something to a picture, but it does happen. It's rare. How do I get my backdrop looking white, not grayish? You need more lights on the backdrop. If you're using a white backdrop, you need 1 or 2 lights for your subject, and then 2 lights at least for the actual backdrop. Getting a white backdrop is not simple. It's not simple at all. Okay, when am I ready to make a business out of a hobby? When well, I don't want to say when you feel like it, because usually it's before that. When you need to earn money, I don't know. Just remember, no one's going to come up to you and say, now you should go into business. Yeah, you have to make the decision. So I suppose maybe bounce around, look around and see if what other people are doing, you feel that what you're doing is comparable to that. But get a lot of practice and people will start giving you lots of compliments, and then maybe it's time to get involved in charging money. I saw this. Is it accepted to charge per child instead of amount of time? For example, a set amount for 1 child and each additional child $10. I think that is ridiculous, personally. My thoughts. What do you think about that, Yocheved?
It just doesn't go like that.
Pay per child. You could pay per arm. You know, instead of the child. You
if you're doing, let's say, just the halakha kid.
What?
If you're doing, let's say, just the halakha kid, so you've got a reduced rate because it's a reduced amount of time, you're just doing the 3-year-old, and then they want to add in more kids. So you say, you'll round up to a full hour, you do family portraits, but to split kid by kid.
I'll tell you, you're getting involved in a Pandora's box. Is that, no, a can of worms, not a can of worms?
Can of worms.
You're opening Pandora's box. What's the right?
Yeah.
you want to keep your pricing as simple as possible. Okay, no one sits there. Think about it yourself. When you open up a booklet and you see there's this and this and this and this and this, you're like, leave me alone. I don't want to sit here with a pen and paper and create this. I don't want to call in my dad's accountant to work out this, when I buy this table. You want to buy a table, so my prices are, this is the price, and people really, really appreciate that. I always put myself in the position of in the past, I've created such complicated pricing things. I thought it's so clever because it's, and people are just like, I don't care enough to put my head into it. Tell me how much it's going to cost. Don't surprise me with extra costs. And I'll tell you, I learned this from Canon years and years ago when I had to get my flash fixed. Okay, so I go into the main Canon place, and my flash is broken, yeah? So I walk in there in Elstree, yeah? And I give them the flash, and without anything, they said, okay, it's going to cost £80. I was like, what are you talking about? You didn't even look at it. How'd you know? They're like, that's how much it costs to fix the flash. I'm like, well, you don't know what's wrong with it. That's how much it costs. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's fantastic. And I was thinking about that. Kevin, do you hear the gutless of that pricing strategy?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, and overall it's great. But what do you find? You get rid of all headache. You get rid of all the headache.
It's like fixing a price in a cab here.
Well, yeah, but that's already a little bit whatever. But that's a little different. But when you've got your prices set. Yeah, like, for example, sometimes I have very complicated bar mitzvah parties, like where we're traveling for a day and then there's a bar mitzvah at the kotel and they want extra albums and this and that. And I've got, so that would be a very complicated thing to price up, but I've actually got behind the scenes my own price list of my hourly rate, the extra albums, and my mindset is what I do is when I try and save my client as much money, like my accountant against the government. It's like my accountant is representing me against the government. So he's trying to save me, obviously legally, as much money as he can save me. When my client comes to me and says, I want 12 hours of photography here and then this, and we do that and this and that, then I try and turn myself into my client's accountant, and I sit down and I say, well, if I use that package, then he'll get the album free, and then we can upgrade an extra album, and then I can price it like that. And that's how I work. And I put together a price of a big job, and there's no guessing there. It's all been systemized. I don't know if you got that, but anyway, I would not get involved in this idea of charging extra for children. I have a flat rate. And if you want to create a few extras, that's not a bad idea. But don't make your pricing more complicated. I have basically an hourly rate, and then on Erev Shabbos, it's a little bit more expensive, and that's it. I'm having trouble with coloring. My pictures are different on the computer than they do when I print them. That's annoying. What is there to do about this? Also, where do you reckon printing pictures in the US? Usually anywhere is good, generally in the US. What's that place? There's a good place. What's that place called? Bay Photo. Bay Photo is excellent, but everywhere is good generally in the US. If there's discrepancy between your printing and your computer, then work it out. Get some prints and look at your computer. You can, in the US, it makes sense maybe to do a color calibration. In Israel, where things are much more organic, I wouldn't recommend. I don't do that, and everything works out. Just find yourself your printer and make sure that you're on the same page. By the way, the upload form for my email, whatever. Can you give a rundown of export settings?
You missed that one.
I did. What?
Oh, putting hairlight. You missed that one before. Small events, hairlight.
Oh, where's that say?
Top of it. For small events. The one about.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah. I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, for small events, when putting hairlight in back of subject is not possible. And if I put the hairlight at the side and sometimes hit a little on the cheek of subject, is that acceptable? You have to look at it. You have to look at each picture by itself. I wouldn't do something like that. Again, simplicity is the name of the game. And once you start getting complicated with lights and meaning precise, you're going to obviously take a hit on the kind of interactions you can be creating. And for me, for the when I'm taking pictures of people, first thing in my mind is display the relationship, as opposed to like, well, look, I have to move that way because of the, and then you've lost the rapport. So to have that little bit of light on the side and give up the extra rapport and emotion that you can create, I don't think is a good cheshbon. By the way, that was okay. Run down export settings for Lightroom. I'm not going to get into that now. What settings should I be shooting for a typical outdoor family portrait photo shoot? So you should come to the masterclass. The you haven't been to the masterclass yet. Either AV or M. No need for P. AV or M, and ideally M. Okay, I'm doing photography for a while as a hobby. I couldn't go fishing into business for different reasons. Now I'd love to open an official business, but not sure where to start. My photography is not very beginner. Okay, I don't have extra time or energy for free sessions. I already did those and have some to use for my portfolio. I don't have much of a name client base yet. So what I would say here is you could get involved in spending money on advertising, yeah, or you could just do some free sessions. And I would recommend doing the free sessions instead of advertising. Blow your clients away. To say I don't have extra time or energy for free sessions, there's no other way of starting your business, or charging very, very little and doing some basic advertisements in like, you know, the little local advertisers, whatever. Where do I start? Besides taking the AMP course, can't invest that much right now. So it sounds like you don't have any other option than just shooting a lot of free shoots. That's what I would do if I were you. That's my pleasure.
Or if you've got word of mouth. If there's word of mouth, grab it. You know, if you've done some
but how do you get word of mouth?
Because she said she's done some free shoots and she's got some portfolio.
Yeah, but obviously things don't sound like they're starting. I don't have much of a name client base. Yeah. Word of mouth only begins when there's mouths spreading the word. So you have to get those mouths beforehand. Okay, I think we're going to finish here. I'm almost tired. 1 minute. Let's just, last question. What's your opinion on the Canon R5 and R6 mirrorless? They're amazing, amazing machines. Are the new eye tracking capabilities game changing? I don't know. I haven't actually played with one of them myself. I would love to. I just haven't got around to it. But the image quality is beautiful. It really is beautiful. Is it noticeably different to the 5D Mark IV? Not really. From what I've heard people saying about the focusing systems, is the focusing systems are game changers. I can't answer this other question, but I would like to be able to at some point. Whew. Okay. Well done.
I love that one at the bottom. What should I do that my muscles are hurting me from the camera because it's heavy? I find that if I haven't done a wedding for a while and I do one, that night I wake up in the night with pain in my arms.
Oh, really?
So stretch out and take pictures more often. Your arms will get used to it.
Yeah. In the past, nowadays, I don't shoot anything like in the old days. Go back 10, 15 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, when I was like shooting, 3 to 5 weddings a week. I would have a on my thumb. My thumb would be like what's it called? A callus.
Blister, yeah.
On my thumb from the camera. Like my body changed, but now, Baruch Hashem, that's not the case. Anyway, listen, anyone who's left, please.
You can't talk to anyone who's left because they've left.
Oh no, sorry. For anyone who hasn't left, sorry, that was very good. That's showing how tired I am. But for anyone who hasn't left, please help us get more. Please help us get more students. We really, really do need more students. Just like I've got a load of mouths to feed, and it would be really helpful if we could get some more money in. Also, like I said, if you have any business ideas, if you can think of a way of partnering up with us, like I said, we've got a miracle. We've really got a miracle product here, and I think everyone agrees with that. And it's Haval that it's, to get it out is so expensive, like to get it out in the world. If anybody's got any good ideas, email me at schmooldiamond@gmail.com. Otherwise, well done, everyone. Thank you for all your pictures. Thank you for all the support, and see you in a month. Okay. God bless.